Joy Road is a movie about a lawyer played by Wood Harris. Remember the Titans, The Wire, who's caught in between where he comes from and where he's trying to go.
You got yourself a pretty woman. You got a big old house. You got dreams, and all this be here. It's gonna be here forever.
6 years in the public defender's office.
3 years in the public defender's office.
You're living kind of large now, aren't you?
You think you can save these people from themselves?
Quick police action is credited for an arrest in a triple homicide. Arrested was gang leader Big Boy.
I need you to come down here now.
When he has to go back to the hood where he comes from, you know, he's a lawyer, to represent his sister's boyfriend, he gets caught up in a conspiracy by a company that's, you know, trying to get laws passed to fill up prisons. But what he finds out is that the beautiful people he's trying to be like are the people that are involved in the prison business. It's the first narrative feature. I did a doc before this called Gangstresses. Some people remember Lil' Kim, Mary J. Blige. We even had Tupac in it. It was a doc about the ladies that hustle, and that was like top 40 Billboard 12, 13 weeks in a row. It was The Source, Vibe, you know, Jenny Jones, stuff like that. But it was a success in the hood on the street level. And then this movie is coming out as a narrative, and that's my first one, which had a major budget. Joy Road's inspired by, like a lot of us, you have people in your family or people connected to you who are locked up, right? So I find out that as I'm sending money to commissary and supporting people who are locked up, that prison is starting to cost money. And I started wondering why, because people are locked up. What is all the money for in the commissary? What changed? So when I researched it, I found out that prisons have been privatized since 1984, and that all these companies can make money off of people who are being punished for a crime. I also find out that the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery for all except those who are being punished for a crime. So when you put those two together, you kind of realize that the profit motive is back into slavery, and then therefore slavery is back. And that's what I started to find out about about prison. And then I find out that these private companies own prisons. They're publicly traded on the stock market. They got to make money. Their stock has to go up. So how do they behave? They behave like profit takers. They got PR firms that are broadcasting all kinds of headlines that are beneficial to them to make money. So that's why you see the Bloods, the Crips, and they keep that going. The gangs, they keep that notion going. The companies that fund the private prisons are companies that run the music industry. So that's why there's a conscious rapper on every block, but there's gangster rappers coming out of every label. So, you know, I started to see that there's an organized effort, you know, to make money off of people who are incarcerated, and then it also continues to, it's an organized effort to get people incarcerated, or to have people who are incarcerated do more time so that they can make more profit. So that fantasy was, all right, so what happens if crime is down? What happens if there's a drought? What are these companies going to do? So then you look at like a ski resort. What happens if there's no snow? They make artificial snow. So companies that, when there's a drought and they have to make money, they're going to create the circumstances under which they can make money. And that's what the fantasy of the movie was about. That's what the germ of the idea was.
What you think you know? You just bought yourself a whole new trouble.
Yo, this ain't the courtroom. It's the streets. You ain't got no heart.
I got myself into something deep, man, and I don't really know how I'm gonna get out of it.
You see him shooting a gun at any point.
I'm looking at you right now. The feds are looking at you.
What I want people to take away from it is this: more than anything else, what I'm interested in is the film. The backdrop of the film is this conspiracy to lock people up, right? So there's a lot of laws in America that involve truth in sentencing, you know, these tough on crime laws like 3 strikes you're out, habitual felony, mandatory minimums, the 2 years on the gun, sentencing guidelines. There's a lot of laws out there that we all accept, right? 3 strikes you're out. 3 strikes is from baseball. What's the 3 strikes? Why not 2 strikes? Why not 4 strikes? Okay, so has a criminologist, a PhD, have they studied this? Is there some empirical data that says it is the exact 3rd strike that is the one that we got to get this person locked up for life because the 4th strike is going to be ABC? So what I want people to do is to start to question the laws that have what I like people to do is question the laws that have 3 times as many people locked up, all right, with the same amount of crime over the last 25 years. With a steady rate of crime, we got 3 times as many people locked up. What's that legislation that has this happening? And where does it come from? Is it necessary? I want people to question the laws like we had to do with slavery. We had to question the laws of why black people were property and not people. With the Jim Crow era, we had to question the laws that required us to not eat at a lunch counter with white people, or drink at a drinking fountain with white people, or go to the same school as white people. Those laws had to be questioned in order for us to get our fair shake. The laws that are in the tough on crime area that made a lot of companies a lot of money, where crime did not increase, prison population tripled, those laws have to be questioned. And that's what I want to happen as a takeaway from this movie.
Let me see, throw your sets up high in the sky. Let the whole club know that you witness. Throw your hood up, let it fly. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm Harry Davis, and you're watching Real Black.